On Wednesdays at 7, sharp as can be, blue gals calling, come knit with me.
Hey guys, Blue Gal here, and I'm here with Olive. That's Olive right there, who is guarding his domain on this July evening. I want to first share the June socks that I finished. These are the Rainbow Pride socks. They're done, and I was really pretty successful in matching the stripes. I try to do that with self-striping yarns, so this worked out well. And these are going to youngest child. I am going to do something a little crazy this month. I'm going to participate in 3 sock knit-alongs. And the first one is the one that I always participate in, and that is the Grocery Girls Sock Bash. The lovely thing about the Grocery Girls Sock Bash is they say in their rules for their knit-along, you can piggyback on any other knit-along that's going on. So you start your sock at the beginning of the month. You have a pair finished by the end of the month, and you photograph it and post the photo on their Ravelry page, and I have a link below to that, and you're in. And it's they do have prizes every once in a while, whenever they get around to them, and that's fine. I did win once, but I've been doing this for months after month after month, and I'm not, it's not for the prizes, it's to finish socks. So and to have fun. It is really fun. And so the theme last month was rainbows. The theme this month is shorties, which is very nice because there's so many sock knit-alongs and people are busy. So this is the one month when you're allowed to do a leg that is shorter than 5 inches. And this is, I'm knitting these for a friend of mine who is allergic to wool. So I am using Berocco Comfort Sock, which is 50% superfine nylon and 50% superfine acrylic. The colorway does not have a name. It's just 1822. But I am really liking how these colors are working out. They're fun. And there is a green stripe in there. It is a fun color. And for the wool allergy, it's fine. I just realized a needle fell out of there. All right. Well, while I'm talking to you, I'll put this needle back in. This yarn is slippery, and it has it doesn't have a lot of give, I will say. It's not real stretchy. I'm noticing a little bit of laddering, particularly in the instep, so with the decreases. So I may have to go back and do a little bit of inside out surgery to these. So just get this back on the needle. Yeah, there we go. So once this first one's done, I may actually block this and see how the laddering is looking. It's the yarn, because I don't have this problem with wool. But it's not really a problem. They're just pretty. They're very pretty little shorty socks and very soft. So I started this one yesterday, July 1st, and I'm already down past the instep, past the decreases on the instep. This pattern is called, it's called the band heel sock, little shorties. And the heel flap is done with a little 9-stitch little flap with decreases on either side. So every row of the heel flap, you're actually knitting across the entire back of the sock, and you have a little 9-stitch flap in the center, and you're decreasing on both sides of that flap to get just to the 9 stitches, and then you pick up on both sides. So the construction of that means that you have fewer rows. If I can show you this, you have fewer rows to decrease for the instep, because you've done this little flap down here, and with that flap you have all of the stitches. So it's a roomy heel. And I'm just wondering, there, I'll have to look. I think you actually do fewer rows on the foot because of that, because this really does pop out. So we'll see about that as I get to that point. And then this is for a friend who is very knitworthy and allergic to wool. Their partner is also knitworthy, and on the 28th I finished the rainbow socks. So in between the first of the month and the 28th, I started a pair of socks for her partner, and this is that Perfect yarn. I think I showed you guys this last week. It's comes in a ball, and the contrast heel and contrast cuff are built into the ball of yarn. And what happens is you have this bright yellow, very bright yellow strand that starts the beginning of the sock. You cut this off. You cut off this yellow and start the sock with the next color. And in this case, it's a brown. And then you have these yellow and blues that do some pooling, quite a bit of pooling actually. And there's a stripe in between. Let me pull this one needle out of here. Some of this down. There we go. So there's stripes, little gray stripes in between this pooling area. And then you will get to a point in the ball, which you can see here. There's a point in the ball where it turns brown again, and that's when you start the heel. The heel is that brown that matches the cuff. And I have used yarn like this before, just knitting it out of the ball, and started a heel when I decided to start a heel instead of waiting for where the heel yarn is, because I didn't know. And so what I did with this ball is wind the entire ball, wound one until I got to this yellow point, because this yellow point is in the beginning of the skein and also in the middle of the skein. So you start a second sock, and then at the end to show you that it goes on to the next ball or whatever. But so that you cut these off, you cut off this yellow, and that is the marking for the beginning of the next sock. This is in the middle of the skein. But I decided, like I said, to wind this one ball into 2 cakes so I could see where the heel started. From the winding, I could see, okay, I'm winding this, I see that brown coming up again, and I know I'm going to have to knit the leg until I get to that brown. Good information for me. And I don't know exactly when I'm going to finish these, because I know exactly when I'm going to finish these, so I'm lying to you. Okay, let me explain. So Sock Bash starts on the 1st of the month. I do that every month. And so these are shorties, and they're going to get done quickly. Like I said, this is a day. I'm done with the heel, the leg, the heel, and the instep in a day. So these are going to get done quickly. There are 2 other knit-alongs, and as I say, Grocery Girl says go ahead and piggyback on any other knit-along you want, as long as you finish the socks that you're presenting in a month, calendar month. So there are 2 other knit-alongs coming up, one of which I've already told you about, but the other one I just signed up for last week. It is called the Woolly Thistle Sock Sprint, and Woolly Thistle is a yarn store in New Hampshire. They sell a lot of British yarns. They do the Shetland Wool Week hat kits, and that Shetland Wool Week hat that I knit I think in early May, that was from them. That kit was from them. And so they're doing a very low-key sock sprint, July 17th to 30th, 2 weeks, 2 socks. And they have All you have to do to join that knit along is sign up and give them your email, and then you can join their Ravelry page and also their Facebook page. And they don't have the Ravelry announcement up yet. It's not until the 17th, but they do have the sign up sheet, and I've linked that. It is the 2025 Summer Sock Sprint. And so that is July 17th to 30th. Then July 20th to 27th. Oh, and there is no theme for the sock sprint. You can buy sock kits from them, and they also have Woolly Thistle has a sock bag. If you don't have any sock yarn at all, or if you just need more sock yarn, Woolly Thistle provides a $149 bag, curated bag of sock yarn that is enough, I think, to knit, I want to say 5 pair. I think that's right. And it comes with a bag, and it comes with these, like I said, there's 2 versions. There's a blue version and a red version. Bags of sock yarn, and it's high quality sock yarn, curated. You'll know what you get. It's not a grab bag. They actually show you in these bags what you're going to get. And so if you want to join in and do that, you can do that. If you want to knit your own sock from your own stash, you can do that. And just knit, the point is, knit a pair of socks in 2 weeks. Okay. And they do have some nice Fair Isle sock patterns if that's your thing. And then Knitty Natty has a theme. And Knitty Natty is the big sock knit along of the summer. And she's been doing it for years. It is knit 1 sock in a week, and it is a sprint too. It is. I think I started in 2000 doing this. It is a real lesson in time management and speed and organization and learning how you knit and what works for you in terms of getting a sock done. If you've never knit a sock in a week, you got to try it. It is so instructive. I know I've said that before, but it is so instructive to pick up some needles on a day. And it's actually 8 days and a little more, actually, because you start on the 20th, which is a Sunday, and then it's over on the 27th, but you have to submit your sock by 10 a.m. Eastern time on Monday, the 28th. So you have enough time. And her theme, as I've said before, is Ice Cream Social. So I am knitting the Ice Cream Sundae socks in, this is Cotton Candy Splash. And so what I'm going to do is on July 17th for the Woolly Thistle sock sprint, I will cast on 1 sock. I probably will split this cake into 2 balls, by the way. The Woolly Thistle sock sprint on the 17th, I'll cast on 1 sock, and then knit that for a couple days, and then on the 20th, I will cast on another sock, and I will work on that second sock first and finish it before the 27th, and then I'll have 3 more days to finish the first sock. So it really is, 6 or 7 days per sock, which is plenty. And I have to look. I have the pattern picked out. It's the cotton candy. Oh, excuse me. It's the Ice Cream Sundae socks. I don't have the pattern right in front of me to see how long the leg is. On the Grocery Girl socks, you have to have, except for the month like this month where you do shorty socks, you have to have a 5-inch leg. And the rule on the Knitty Natty is you can do shorties, but they have to be in fingering weight yarn, and adult socks in fingering weight yarn. So there's rules, and you have to kind of balance what you're doing. But I know I'm going to have a 5-inch leg for these, and I'll finish them by the end of the month. So I will actually post these at Grocery Girls also. And in between time, if I get these shorties done as quickly as I think I'm going to, between the time I finish those, I'm going to finish those first because I just want to get those done, that sock bash out of the way before the 17th. But if I finish those as quickly as I think I'm going to, between then and the 17th, I'll work on these because it's a sock month, baby. And let's see if I can get 3 socks done, 3 pair of socks done in a month. One of the nice things about being a prolific sock knitter, I have a basket in my living room, and usually youngest child comes home and just grabs them. I'll take these, I'll take these, I'll take these. But middle child, whose birthday is today, by the way, happy birthday. She's off with friends tonight. Uh, she had a friend over that she knew from high school who came over to say hi. I said hi, and I said, "Oh, by the way, go over to that basket and pick out a pair of socks." And she did, and it was fun. And so, having a basket of socks for guests, especially college age females, to grab a sock and take it home was a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. She picked out some socks. All right, I like to end with reading. And before I do that, I will tell you that I'm not going to be podcasting here again until the 23rd. That is 3 weeks from today. And this summer hiatus is because next week, Driftglass and I, who do a political podcast, we are going to be doing 4 podcasts together. We have our 2 on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then we are guests on 2 other podcasts, one on Wednesday and one on Saturday. So, yeah, 4 is enough. And so, plus all my sock knitting that I'm going to have to do. So, yeah, that's enough. So I will be off next week, and then the following Wednesday is the 16th, which is my birthday. So I will be out that night as well. So you will see me again on the 23rd, where I will have updates on all of I'll be right in the middle of the 2 sock knit alongs, the Woolly Thistle and the Knitty Natty sock knit along, working on the ice cream socks. All right. I like to read something at the end of every podcast. And this week I have a new book that I just got today in the mail. I've ordered it weeks ago from Woolly Thistle, actually. And it is called 52 Weeks of Scrap Yarn. It is a big, heavy coffee table book from Lane Publishing. They have a series of these. They have 52 weeks of socks and accessories and bulky knits and shawls, I believe. And I saw this, and it's scrap yarn, which is my thing, and I said, I need it. So I told my husband, I was looking at this on the internet. I said, when this book comes, I want you to write on the inside of it, "Happy anniversary, honey, I love you." And so that's going to happen. He said he's not going to do that until our anniversary, and that's fine. But this book has there's some socks, some scrap socks, and then it has scrap sweaters as well. I'll just give you that amount of taste of what's in this book. Beautiful patterns, 52 beautiful patterns. And I like to read to you from the introduction to some of these books, because sometimes we skip right over that to get to the good stuff, and there's actually really good information in the introduction to some of these books. So this is To Our Readers, and it's by the Lane team in 52 Weeks of Scrap Yarn, which is a new book this year. And by the way, thank you to Woolly Thistle, who really had a time getting this book in. It's in its second printing already, and I ordered it, and I emailed them, and where is it, and what's happening, and they had to reorder, a second shipping set of books. It was so popular, and the books that they received, many of them were damaged, and so they were fulfilling the orders first come first serve, and I was one of the 6 that didn't get one in that shipment, and had to wait another couple weeks, and it just went on and on. So, but they were always in touch with me about, yes, we're shipping it, or so forth and so on. They did let me know, um, that my book was coming, and here it is. So this is to our readers. Just read a couple paragraphs here. The most obvious and important reason for knitting scrap yarns are, of course, ecological. In terms of the environment, it is a much better option to knit with yarns you already own instead of buying new ones. In addition to nature, you also save money. Think how satisfying it feels to create a new garment or accessory with practically zero budget. Knitting with scrap yarn is also satisfying and rewarding. You can turn something seemingly useless into something useful, and at the same time get more space in your yarn stash. Scrap yarn projects are also a good motivator for going through and organizing your yarn. Another notable feature of scrap yarn knitting is that each project will be unique. The result can surprise even the knitter, who brings a touch of place which brings a touch of playfulness and adventure to the process. However, for this book, we have made it as easy as possible to use those scrap yarns so that knitters don't have to rely on guesswork at the start. Each pattern gives the exact yardage and weight of the yarns needed. And that is such a valuable addition to this book. I have said before that what separates the expert knitter and the committed knitter from the amateur knitter is a yarn scale. That is the tool that really makes all the difference in terms of being a creative person, knowing how much yarn weighs and how much you need to work on a project so that you can combine yarns, and knowing how much this particular hat or particular pair of socks or scarf or whatever, how much yarn you need in weight. And what you'll do if you're not a knitter and you're just one of my viewers who watches this to listen to my voice, this is sock weight yarn, or it's also called fingering weight yarn. So this is 400 grams. I can tell you, this is my scale. Sometimes, uh, you know, um, a pair of socks, a big long knee high socks would take all of this. Um, you need to start with 400 grams to knit a sock, pair of socks. But just knowing that this hat pattern that you have takes 400 grams or takes 300 grams or whatever, you can go and weigh leftover yarn you have and know, okay, I have enough of the, as long as you know that you are matching the thickness of the yarn, fingering weight, or there's also worsted weight, there's bulky weight. You need to match yarn for yarn the thickness of the yarn. But once you know that, you can just put it on a scale and say, okay, I've got enough. And that's really, really, really helpful. Uh, and if the yarn brands used for the sample are known, they are also mentioned. So uh, they take a lot of care in this book to make sure that you, as a knitter, are prepared to start and finish the project. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It is time to go on a scrap yarn adventure. And really, there are multiple patterns in this book. There are 52 patterns in this book, but I went through it, and there are 15 of the patterns that I would be ready to cast on tomorrow if I wasn't committed to sock knit alongs. This is one of those marl sweaters where you hold 2 strands together, and very simple drop shoulder construction. I would modify this and do I might just do this with the drop shoulder, but then I would make the sleeves match this color so that you'd have 3 vertical lines on your body. You'd have the green sleeve here, the button band here, and the green sleeve here. And then you can have these horizontal stripes where you've changed color. I might also just use 2 colors with, what this is a beige stranded with a maroon, a camel, and a pink, and then a green held together. So I'm already thinking, oh, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do top down, garter, raglan, solid sleeve, solid button band, and solid matching sleeves to the button band to get those vertical stripes in there. But again, very inspirational. Makes me want to go make a sweater. Let me see if I can find just one more. Oh, this is a shawl. This is just a rectangle shawl where they've woven in some yarns. Very pretty. Anyway, lots of inspiration in here. And this cover shawl is knit. And there's another one in here that's a sweater that looks like granny squares, but it's knit. So lots and lots to do with that book. Thank you, honey. Thank you for my book that I ordered. And you get to sign it in Sharpie pen. So yeah, I am going to be off. I will see you again on the 23rd of July. And until that time, I hope you enjoy your knitting. If you're going to knit socks this month, please share a comment and let me know where I can find your picture of your sock. I'd love to see them. I'd love to share them. I am Blue Gal on Blue Sky. Always Blue Skies for Knitters. Please join in and shout out to me and let me know. I'll follow you back. Find out what you're knitting. I'd love to let me know what your Blue Sky handle is in comments too. I'd be glad to follow you back. Okay? Thanks. See you next time. Bye-bye.
On Wednesdays at 7, sharp as can be, Blue Gal's calling, come knit with me.